Hey, everybody, and welcome to Superhero Speak. I am your host, Dave.
And I'm the guy on his phone, Don.
Yes, technical difficulties. Even though Don is home now, you can see he is in his man cave. Uh,
Yes,
he is having technical difficulties. Hopefully, they will be corrected quickly.
they will.
But uh, but yeah, it's been a week since we got together. We were supposed to get
Yeah,
together
yeah.
Sunday. Um, I'll talk about that off the top of at the top of the show. My girlfriend is getting some dental work done, and came home Friday, wasn't feeling well, wasn't
Yeah.
because of the her mouth was hurting or whatnot. She had a really bad headache, and then Saturday we didn't get together. She's like, I just want to rest. I'm like, okay. So finally, she's like, Sunday, she's like, you want to come over for dinner? And I'm like, the podcast. Oh, I forgot about that. And that's when I was like, hey, let's switch to Monday. And then you said, sure, why not? And
Sounds
then
like
what
a
did you
great idea.
sounds like a great idea. Now what did you have what happened on Monday?
Well, let me preface this by saying the reason I was like super into moving it in the first place was because we came back a day early from vacation. And the reason we did this is because while we were on vacation, a nearby 20-minute to the west, 15th best roller coaster park on there, Cedar Point, is selling season passes for the rest of this year and next year. Water park parking, you can bring a guest, and also works at Six Flags. So we're like, bet we're gonna buy this because it's a good deal and we live 20 minutes from it, and let's go back a day early and go. So now the original plan was to take two vehicles, but then Dave, he texts me, he says, "Hey, got a great idea. Let's move." And I'm like, "Hey, that's an awesome idea. Uh, Here we go." So exciting. And but yes, I forgot that yesterday. No, I'm sorry. Monday
Monday.
was my wife's birthday. So like, yeah, it really wasn't the best idea. So yeah, I screwed the pooch on that. It's totally my fault. Put all your hate in the comments below. We'd love to see it.
Well, at least at least you remembered before, celebrating anything. It's not like you did the show and then went, "Oh crap, it was my wife's birthday." That would have been
Right.
really bad. So
Yeah, I just believe in my excitement for Tuesday for the situation that I just neglected that point. But here we are. Hey,
yeah, we're
no
already
worries.
off. We're already off our normal schedule. So for the show, I forgot to say at the top of the show, we're going to talk obviously Wakanda for not Wakanda forever. Eyes of Wakanda, the miniseries that came out last week, which was
Hmm.
what we were going to talk about on Sunday. And there's a little bit of news, Marvel news for Spider-Man, and rumors about the upcoming movie. And what was the other article that I had here? Oh, and then there is this was exciting. Punisher. There's some Punisher news. We'll talk about that as well. Um, so yeah, but with all of that, how was your week? It's been a week. It was your wife's birthday. Did you do anything fun for it? Anything exciting happen in this past week to you?
No, that was about it as far as like going to Cedar Point, which I mean was cool because my youngest is over that 54-inch mark, which okay, you can ride anything that you want.
Hmm.
And I did not expect her to like be completely and utterly fearless. But that's what happened. So I don't know. It was fun time. But yeah, no, really nothing exciting. Want to disappear for a minute.
The um, it's funny. You're reminding me of you left so you could come back.
Yeah,
You're reminding me
yeah.
when my daughter was young and we took her to Hershey. Oh, I'm going to tell this story. Hopefully he comes back. Uh,
All right.
Okay, so when my daughter was young, we took her to Hershey Park, which is the big park not far from where I live, in
Hmm.
Hershey, PA, and of course it is the Hershey. Um,
Yeah.
and it was one of these. She wanted to go on this roller coaster. No, like you just said, no fear. She was really excited to do it, and they have that little stick to measure them to make sure you're the right height before you get on the
Yeah.
ride. And she was tall enough. The problem is she was wearing these sandals that the soles were like this thick on
Oh,
them, so it was giving
right.
her another inch and a half. So she technically wasn't tall enough, and her mother her mother like freaked out afterwards, but like she loved it. She kept saying, "Oh, let's go on again, let's go
Yeah.
on again." I keep waiting for the day that they take my granddaughters to an amusement park and they do that to her. Uh,
Just let her on
but
the
yeah,
ride, or give her inch and a half lift
yeah. Well, I will make
before.
sure I buy the twins
Yeah.
thick-soled sandals before they go to Hershey Park. Uh, but let's see, what have I been up to?
Yeah.
I actually went and saw a musical on Thursday last week. Beetlejuice the musical. It had its
Okay.
run here in Philadelphia. We had bought the tickets in like February and completely forgot we bought them. And
And
it was her son who wanted to, my girlfriend's son who wanted to go.
all of a sudden,
And
it's showtime, right?
ex- exactly, it was like, and it's funny because we knew it was coming up. We knew it was in July, but we couldn't remember what day, and we thought it was a weekend, and here it was a Thursday. And we went to a place called Bud and Maryland's in downtown. It's a restaurant. Oh my god, it was
Yeah.
so good, like unbelievably good. I got meatloaf, which is like, oh, meatloaf, but it was called French onion meatloaf, so it was like French onion soup meets meatloaf, and it was
Okay.
so good. Her son got a carne asada steak. It was mixed with these vegetables and
Ooh,
stuff,
yeah,
and
it's
it was
good.
marinated. It was cooked perfectly, and the girlfriend got fried chicken, which I was shocked because it was a little more pedestrian than some of the other things on the menu, but that was also really good. So yeah, I mean, it was an amazing meal. As for the play, it wasn't bad, but it's based on the first movie, but they changed the story around,
Mhm.
and I get it. You can't do the same exact thing a lot of times. It focuses way more on Beetlejuice in the musical, but it was good. I mean, we had a good time. Just I prefer the movie. Um,
Okay.
yeah, and
That's
let's see what's.
funny you talk about musicals, though. I had an interesting conversation with my wife. Of course, we saw the new Wicked. If you've been to either Superman or Fantastic Four, you've seen the next Wicked movie
Mhm.
preview. And I was talking with my wife about it, and my daughter was telling her about it. But either way, it led us into a conversation about Cynthia Erivo being Storm, and it was just,
Yeah,
my wife was like, "But there's no singing in X-Men or Marvel, so she can't." And I'm like, "But don't you think she's a great actor?" And she's like, "Yeah, she's awesome." And I'm like, "Then why wouldn't they do it?" I'm like, and I also kind of had to explain to her, though. I'm like, the way Storm talks, I'm like, they could kind of incorporate her singing, into it a little
it,
bit. But I don't know. It was just an interesting conversation to
she's
tell my
she
wife.
and she's been in other things as well, and like she doesn't always sing. She just was in a musical and had to sing for it. Just like saying Hugh Jackman can't be
Yeah,
Wolverine anymore because he was in
because
The
he's
Music Man on
yeah,
Broadway and in the Greatest Showman, the movie and Les Miserables. Like he sings now, so no longer can he
yeah.
be Wolverine.
I don't. Yeah, I my wife is just a major fan of her singing. I mean, she listens to the Wicked soundtrack, in the car. So I guess to her, I don't know, she sing, sing. So I don't know.
Uh,
She just is
so
a big fan of her singing.
yeah, she's talented. Let's see what else. Oh, I had a good day because it started off with um so not to bog down in details about how my work goes, but like we do what are called iterations or 2 weeks worth of work, and then we try to release something at the end of the 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Arivo is busy being Jesus. Yeah, she was in I think it's a Jesus Christ Superstar production somewhere. But so I was trying to get this work done because I thought they were releasing it next week. And we had a meeting today, and it's like, okay, well, here's what we're releasing on Tuesday, which is the stuff they already have done. And like, I was like, I like actually had a sigh of relief because I was like, oh, I thought this other stuff that I'm currently working on was supposed to be released on Tuesday. They're like, no, that's not till the 26th. I'm like, ah. Like, it was one of those things where it's been keeping me up at night because I'm like, I don't think I'm going to get this stuff done. And I'm so nervous about it.
Isn't that the case, man? You look good for you, but how much sleep do we lose over dumb shit that like ends up
exactly?
No one cares.
And then today, and I'm not going to say the actual numbers, but today I don't know why I pulled out an old pair of jeans of mine that I haven't worn in a long time, and those who know how men's sizes run, they're run by your waist size and your height for pants, and it's every 2 inches. And the pair of pants I grabbed are 2 sizes, so 4 inches smaller than the ones I've been wearing. I was thinking, these aren't going to fit, but let me see how tight they are. I'm wearing them right now. Like, they fit. I'm like, wow, I lost more weight than I thought I did. So
nice. Yeah, you can still breathe. So yeah, all right.
Yes. I'm not turning blue. So yeah, that made me just feel good all day long. That's all I'm saying.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
So
I have like an old Vegeta silk button shirt. It used to be all the rave back in 2002. And I'm proud I can fit it. I mean, boy, those buttons, they were made from titanium apparently back then because they're holding on, but hey, it counts for me.
Yeah. I've had quite a few shirts like that. I got a Spider-Man one that's a button down, and I have an Hawaiian shirt that's actually a Star Wars Hawaiian shirt because my family normally does every year a luau. It's a big family get together, and a lot of times people wear Hawaiian shirts. And my cousin who hosts this party is a huge Star Wars fan, so like I got that one year and I've worn it a couple times, but like I got it when I was thinner. And a couple times I've tried that button and I'm like, no, ain't gonna happen. But I haven't tried it since I've lost the weight. Maybe I should try it again. So that's been my week. Of course, we both watched some TV. We'll be talking about that shortly, and among other things. And so on that note, before we get into all that, let's go to the dark side and have our good friend Darth Don tell you how you can find more superhero speak.
Darth Don here. You must subscribe to Superhero Speak if you haven't already. And if you have already, make another account and subscribe again. You also will like this video. And while you're on the HoloNet, go to superheroespeak.com. Find the links to our merch and purchase one of our shirts. Don't skimp on the shipping, or else I will trap you in a box with an agitated gun dog named Brie Larson. I would just force lightning you, but we don't have that in the effects budget. Now, back to the show.
All right. Oh, I also forgot to say at the top of the show that I'm almost done setting up our new uh Teespring store, not Teespring, T Public store. So hopefully starting Sunday, we will switch over to T Public officially. I won't be using Spring anymore, and that'll be in the description of next week's or Sunday's episode. So we'll see. Um, Thrawn says he's called a Brie Larson worm, the largest Brie Larson worm anyone has ever seen. uh, so the internet was a buzz the last few days there, Don, because there's been a lot of stuff coming out about the Spider-Man movie, and it was funny because originally I thought we were just going to be talking about there was a teaser released from Sony just showing like the costume really quick. And I thought, oh, we'll just be talking about that. But then, no, Tom Holland put on his Instagram a video of him walking out of like, it looks like he's in a hangar or something. And the doors open and he walks out in the new costume. So it's official. It doesn't, I mean, I'm sure you've seen it at this point. It doesn't look any different doesn't look much different than what we saw at the end of No Way Home. But someone pointed this out and I'm like, oh, that's true. The one at No Way Home was CGI. This is a practical costume that he's actually wearing. So that is a big difference.
Right on.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, they made the costume. I mean, you know, if you look at it, the spider looks more like Tobey Maguire's spider from his movies. The back of the costume kind of looks like
I think it looks
Andrew Garfield's. Go ahead.
More accurate in general to me. I think it's just with the brighter blue and the larger spider symbol in the front. I just think it harkens, I guess, more back to the actual Spider-Man costume that comic fans, you know, think of.
So the funny thing about the actual costume that most people don't realize, and this is also the same issue with Spider-Man and Batman. The costume was supposed to be black and red originally. But when you are coloring a comic and you want to highlight black, you use blue. Yep. So in people's minds, it becomes, oh, it's blue and red, and the black is shadow. So no, it's actually the opposite. It was supposed to be black and red, and the blue was highlights. But you know, after a while, it's like, no, it's just blue and red, and leave it like that. Same thing with Batman. He was supposed to be black and gray, and then you know, the highlights. Highlighting it with blue, and then that's how we got Batman's blue cowl, you know.
But he's done a lot better in transitioning back to the original idea, though. I think now the black and gray is more synonymous with his suit than the blue and gray.
That was funny though, because like in was it No Way Home or was it Far From Home? Which is the one where he makes
Spider-Man movies? I'm sorry, bleed together for me, I guess, as a not Spider-Man enthusiast.
So it was No Way Home where Happy shows up in the Quinjet and is helping him out, and he uses the synthesizing stuff on the thing to make a costume, and he makes basically the black and red costume. And I can't remember. Someone said to me at that time, it's like, oh, they're trying to be edgy with the black and red. I'm like, well, no, they're actually trying to be more accurate to the original idea of the costume. That why can't I think of his name? The original artist on Spider-Man. Shoot, I'm sure there's people yelling at their computers. Far From Home. Oh, okay, it was Far From Home. Okay, Thrawn. But anyway, so. But yeah, they were trying to be more true to the original colors, and well, I think it was actually one of my girlfriend's sons that said it. I'm like, no, it was supposed to be black and red originally. Ditko, thank you, Thrawn. See, I knew that it was a nerd watching who was going to be like yelling. Steve Ditko, yes. But anyway, and then the only thing I thought looked weird on it, and I don't know what you think. You know, they have this thing where now they gotta have the web shooters on the outside, and there's these like silver squares on his wrist where the web shooters are. I know. What did you think? A lot of people are saying they look cheap. So
Yeah, I tend to agree. I mean, I understand people want to make sure that he has web shooters and it's not some like freaky mutation, that Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man got. So I get that. But even with that, like it was never like a pronounced thing. It's just we know he has it, it's concealed, it
Right.
happens. So yeah, I don't get people. I don't like it. I like having the web shooters, and I don't care if there was a little something there. But yeah, them thinking that they need these like chunky, clunky, certainly always visible web shooters, I'm not about. I mean, I don't hate it. It's not gonna, but just truth be told, you ask a question. That's how I feel.
Yeah, no. I mean, it just. But I will say that someone did point out online, and I can't disagree with this point. Tony Stark didn't pay for this suit. He made this himself at this point. So,
Yeah.
and so, he's back to scrounging for parts out of the trash. Remember, we get introduced to him. He had stole a cable box out of the trash. So,
Yeah,
for parts. So yeah, I think
that's actually kind of a
that
cool detail. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think in that sense, yeah, it's not going to look, what's the word? High tech,
Janky.
like something. Yeah, it's going to look janky. So, Thrawn says they look like toy ones that shoot silly string as web, which is probably a marketing ploy to make toy ones that shoot silly string for the kiddies.
Which, you know what, I'm totally about, because that's the way you are going to make money with these movies, is through that stuff.
Yeah.
Kids' toys or whatever, the apps.
Oh, yeah.
That's
how they make most of their money. So,
I mean, Superman was wildly successful and great and wonderful, and still only did $500 million.
Yeah. Oh,
it beat Fantastic Four, which was a great MCU movie, but Fantastic Four can't hold a candle to what Superman did. Like, their second weekend drop off was way worse. And that's with Superman. Like, Superman's going to be in streaming in like 3 or 4 weeks, I think, or something crazy like that.
Yeah. So as of this stream, according to Box Office Mojo, worldwide Superman has made $559.3 million. So that's not bad, because again, I think the original estimates, they were saying it had to make between 500 and 700 million to be profitable. So I don't think they're gonna turn around and say, okay, we're done with this. Now, right. Fantastic Four, I did see something where they were saying it needed to make $370 million to be profitable. Like anything above 370 million would be profit. As of this stream, it's made $378.3 million worldwide. So it's profitable, but yet I wanted to talk about that because I keep seeing a lot of articles, not from mainstream. Now, mind you, it's a lot of nerd sites like ours, saying, "Oh, the movie's a failure." Blah blah blah. Some of them are going, "Oh, it's woke, so that's why it failed." Which, again, I don't feel like the movie was woke. I don't know where that's coming from.
That's a hack criticism at this point in time. Like, you
really
and
it's just
have anything to say if you say that.
Yeah, I agree, and most of the people who say that didn't actually see the movie. But it brings up an interesting point. You sent this to me, and I had already seen it because I'm friends with Mr. Liefeld on the internets, on the Facebooks, and he is on a anti-Marvel rant lately. And he went to the theater, an IMAX showing of Fantastic Four, and the movie hasn't started or anything. He's just in a theater sitting there, and he takes a picture of the theater. Now, here's the thing. You don't know if he got there 20 minutes before the movie started, and he's just sitting in the theater and decided to take the picture, right? Mm-hmm. There's no reference. He just takes the picture and posts it and goes, yeah, no audience on the second weekend because it's a boring movie. And it was just like, why? Like, why are you attacking the Marvel? And like, people are saying this is all still stemming from he didn't get invited to some after party for Deadpool and Wolverine,
Yeah,
and like that's
about that.
yeah, like is it like there's got to be more to it than that. It can't just be he wasn't invited to a party, so now he hates Marvel forever.
Listen, man, this guy went off on you for like no reason whatsoever. I mean,
Yeah,
he's he's the $1 billion comic book baby from the 90s. And I mean,
who
Dave,
can't
I
draw
love you,
feet?
but you're right. Well, hey, but nonetheless, he's made a lot of money, and and you're Dave, which you're great, and our 59,000 subscribers strong, all that, but like no reason to go after you. There's just nothing for him to gain, and he just lit you up on Facebook, on your personal face. It wasn't like a superhero speak Facebook page. This was
Yeah,
Dave, Mark, whatever. Yeah, your personal shit, and he did that. So this is completely consistent with his
who he is.
way of
Yeah,
thinking, who he is. Yeah, and but yes, it's first of all, he's in an IMAX. Okay, the majority of people I ever talked to or come across who've seen a movie didn't have him doing an IMAX. Like you said, it's show me that picture, during the opening weekend, okay, and maybe you've got a point. Wait till the second week, go at some fucking matinee IMAX, and you're just being petty. And again, as we've described, that's what he does apparently now. That's how he spends his retirement, since no one outside of someone that makes G.I. Joe comics wants anything to do with him. So,
and it's one of those things where if the movie had been on the screen when he took the picture and it was empty, I'd have been like, oh, okay. But it was like, I think it was like the commercials or something were still playing. Like,
right. We all know, like when I buy movies that start at 8:00, I know it's not, maybe the previews start at 8:30. Like there's so many damn commercials in front of it. And people are not stupid. So they figure that out. They don't want to sit through that shit. And now there's assigned seating. So you don't even have to get there early to make sure you get the exact seats you want. You know you're going to get the seats you want now. Even an old theater, they fucking put stickers on there. You Fandango, they will sign that shit now.
Yeah, no, and that's the funny thing, because like, they're all assigned seating now, and that's the whole thing. And it's funny because I've had people argue like, I don't like that. And it's like, just buy your tickets early and get and pick your seat, and then you can sit wherever you want. But yeah, like movie theaters have done that, where it's like, because I've said this to many people, like it used to be the commercials, when they started showing the commercials ended at, like, let's say it's an 8:30 showing. They ended at 8:30 and the preview started at 8:30, and then there would be 20 minutes of previews. Now it's no, the commercials are still going at 8:30, and then there's 20 minutes of previews, and then the movie doesn't start for almost an hour, sometimes half hour to an hour after it's supposed to start. So it's like, so people have learned that at this point. And again, if you have assigned seating, you can come a half hour later and you're going to get your seat. So, it was weird. It was very petty. It's one of those burning your bridges kind of thing too, right? So like, if they do a Deadpool and Wolverine 2, they're not going to ask him to be involved, because he's doing this stuff. And like Marvel will be like, nah, we don't need you for this project, Yeah. Well,
clearly he's bitter about his lack of influence of the Deadpool's character in the comics, and particularly in the movies that have been wildly successful. In fact, his character, Ryan Reynolds is now more responsible for the success of that character than Rob Liefeld. And so I could see, again, us knowing personally the type of person he is. I could see that just eating up at him. The only point to be made here, because this isn't look how good DC is and how shitty Marvel is, which is what he's trying. That's the point he's trying to make. No, man. The whole thing right now is what we've just seen, which is of no news to anybody that's into comics, is that Superman is more popular than Fantastic Four. And I'm Mr. Obvious. Hello. Like,
Yeah,
Fantastic
exactly.
Four is good, but it's not Superman. You
And
know,
it wasn't.
Marvel's traditionally the better quality, but still, we care about this fucking character a lot. A lot
Yeah,
of people do,
the
and that's what you get.
the three most popular characters in comics are Superman, Batman, and Spider-Man. Like hands down. Um, and Wolverine's a close fourth, but
I got no
but
complaints.
then but like that's the other thing. Not only is it Superman, a lot of people's favorite character, it's also um what everyone wanted to see. What's James Gunn going to do with the character? What's the new DCU going to be like? There's a whole lot more mixed in with Superman than there was with Fantastic Four, because it's like it's a continuation of the MCU. It's taking place in a different multiverse, but it's, which I think made the movie better, because you didn't need to watch 20 other movies to watch Fantastic
Yeah.
Four. Like you could just go watch it. But
Absolutely.
yeah, it's the Fantastic Four. It's been done a bunch of times and has never really hit home. This probably is the best version of the characters, but still, um, you know, that's that. All right. Speaking of Marvel, and we were talking about, of course, Spider-Man. It is rumored, and it's been some of the things that have been spotted on set have kind of uh, fueled this rumor a little bit more. That Daniel Day Kim, who was in Lost in Hawaii 5-0, a lot of people know who he is rumored to be playing Mr. Negative in Brand New Day. And he was asked this in an interview, and he didn't say if he was or wasn't doing it, but he did say, "Oh, I'm so ready to play that character." And so yeah, like this is pretty interesting. If people don't know, he was I believe he was kidnapped by Silvermane. This is from 2004, 2007. It was when he was introduced in the comics, captured by Silvermane, was experimented on with this serum, which gave him his powers. And like when he can turn his powers on and off, and when he turns them on, his colors flip, looking like a picture negative. That's why he's Mr. Negative. Um, and he's a fairly, he's a big villain in the Spider-Man games, in Spider-Man 2, if you've played those. And so he's fairly popular. I mean, he's not like one of the most known, because again, he's a post 2000 villain, and I don't think they're as well known as some of the other villains. But yeah, that's the rumors, that he's going to be the main villain in Brand New Day. So, do you know anything about Mr. Negative? What do you think?
No, I know nothing about Mr. Negative. So thank you for the synopsis there. But in saying that, it really gives me two questions. First off, is do you really think that this actor read the comics with Mr. Negative, and like I hate when people say that, oh, I'm ready to play that character, like they were really abreast on their lore and history from the comics. Like, no, I'm really ready to have that payday is what they. But
Yeah.
anyway, so that's my first question. Is you really think he actually cares about the character? And then second question though is, in this fantastical multiverse extravaganza, what kind of role is this C tier villain gonna play? So I don't know. I don't believe the rumors. I don't understand how that could play any part in what's happening.
Well, I mean, it's funny. One of the things I would like them to see them do, and 2007. Sorry, I wanted to check when he was introduced. In the game, they tie him to Miles Morales. He's the one in the game that kills Miles's father. So maybe it'd be a fun way to bring Miles into the MCU. By by doing the same elements as in the comics. They probably won't. I mean, in the game, they probably won't. But that could be a fun little thing to do. Here's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, Miles Morales has to be one of the sorest spots in Marvel's history, not having access to that character during, their rise of the MCU. Because that's why I don't think, this is gonna. Another reason I don't think it's gonna happen is I don't think they're gonna do Miles Morales in this MCU since, they're Sony's got them by the balls. I think they're forced to do it with the Peter Parker. But I think it's a missed opportunity that they didn't also have Miles Morales to deal with. As we're going through the multiverse shit, that actually makes sense for you to put him in. Maybe, and hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong, and they're like, nope, here comes Miles Morales, Secret Wars. Like, okay, sweet. We'll see. I think it's a big sore spot between me and you.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. See, this is when I wasn't reading comics, but this is an interesting. So when he was introduced, he was at the Feast Center, which is that is something in the newer Spider-Man comics. Aunt May works there and whatnot, and it's like a center for poor people in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Brock was there, and if you remember, I don't remember, they gave him cancer in the comics, and the symbiote was what was keeping him alive.
Yeah.
Mr. Negative, one of his powers is healing touch, so he healed Eddie Brock, so he didn't need the symbiote anymore. And because that's another rumor, is like people are trying to say, oh, they're setting up Venom, which I don't know if they're going to do that, because they did the Venom movies and they kind of tried to tie them together, but then they didn't.
Whole ass trilogy. It's kind of too late for it.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to bring Venom in. Not at this point, anyway. But that could be interesting. Yeah, no, I agree too. Like, if you probably ask any actor, almost any actor, especially, and but he's not an up and coming. He's he's like our age, and he's been in a lot of different things. But I'm pretty sure if you ask any up and coming actor, oh, would you want to play this character? Of course, they're going to say yes. It's like a big payday. It's a big thing,
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. He's probably not a big comic book fan. I mean, he could be. Gen Xers, we tend to be big collectors, but again, we all kind of stopped in the early 2000s reading on a regular basis, so he wouldn't have really known who Mr. Negative was, even if he's a big Spider-Man fan. So yeah, I agree. We'll see what happens, but I think you're right. This isn't going to be anything like, it's not going to not going to be Venom. He might be, and they might bring him in, and he might be Mr. Negative's alter ego, which is let's see. Oh, come on. What's his name? It doesn't say here in this thing. That's weird. This is on Wikipedia. It doesn't say what his actual name is. So that doesn't matter. But yeah, they might they do that a lot. Oh, Martin Lee, thank you. Thank you, Thrawn. So they do that a lot in the movies. If you've ever noticed, especially Sony does it more. Like, we need a character who's this. Oh, well, Martin Lee can fit that character, where you're kind of like teasing he could be Mr. Negative down the road, but he might not necessarily be Mr. Negative in this movie. So yeah. The last piece of news before we get to Eyes of Wakanda is it was announced, because I didn't know they were doing this. They're doing a Punisher special for Disney Plus, and they just finished filming it. So principal photography has been done. So of course, they got to go and edit it and do special effects and whatnot. And it's going to be. It sounds from what I've read, it sounds like it's going to be like the Swamp Thing, where it's just going to be like an hour or 2 hour special on Disney Plus. It's not going to be a full movie. It's not going to be a full series. It's just going to be a little extra thing for him. But I don't know. Like, I like Daredevil Born Again. I think they did a good job, even on Disney Plus, of staying true to that show. So what do you think? You want to see more John Bernthal Punisher? Are you excited for this?
Yeah, I am excited for this. I like John Bernthal as Punisher. He adds just a good, I don't know, feel of the Punisher character to anything that he's in. I think it's a very grounded character, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not a huge Punisher fan.
I'm not going to say that out loud.
Okay. But I do like aspects of the character, and those aspects of the character John Bernthal brings out well. Do I want to see a whole movie or necessarily a whole long ass show? No. But yeah, something like this, yeah, I would love to see. But I will say though, I do feel that this Punisher character or this version works well by sprinkling him in, to other shows. I like it. I like the roles that have been written for him to play. They make sense.
Punisher is very myopic. Everything is black and white. If you're a bad guy, you're dead. If you're a good guy, he leaves you be. It's tough to, beyond the origin story, it's tough to keep that compelling. So I agree. Like, sprinkling him in and making him a foil for Daredevil to have moral conversations with, possibly have, especially this version of the Tom Holland Peter Parker Spider-Man, where he risked everything to save villains from other universes, so to have that confrontation, because he is in Brand New Day, he's been seen on the set and everything, so to have that dichotomy between the two characters, that works. But to have him by himself being a killing machine, like it and I'll be honest with you, like, I dropped off of that show on Netflix because it got a little repetitive, like, you're killing the bad guys, I get it, like,
yeah.
So yeah, like, and don't get me wrong, you can make them interesting. I'm not downplaying the Punisher. I know there's a lot of Punisher fans out there.
Well, right, why can't he be John Wick? Those movies are popular.
Right. Yeah.
Why can't he, Frank Castle should be more like John Wick.
So yeah. Yeah, I can't wait till it comes out. Obviously, we will talk about it on this show, and we'll rate and review it, and yeah, we'll see. There's no release date set yet, so the question is, does this tie into Brand New Day, or is this its own thing? So if it ties into Brand New Day, I'm sure it'll be out probably before the end of the year. If it's its own thing, who knows? So we shall see. But speaking of rating and reviewing things, we both watched Eyes of Wakanda, and it's a 4 episode miniseries that was released on Disney Plus. All 4 episodes were dropped at once last week. There aren't any more episodes coming out, and it's technically a prequel. It's a what do they call that? Anthology, where every episode concentrates on different characters, and it moves through time. It starts in, what was it, like 1200 BC or something is the first episode.
Yeah.
Up until,
it focuses on not only different characters, but then a different Wakandan artifact.
Yes. and it ends up in I think the 1800s, and yeah, but again, it jumps through time for the
So yeah,
the fourth
spoiler alert.
episode.
There's time traveling. Yeah, at one point.
So
Which we
let's
like.
let's try to just before we get into spoilers, just curious, it feels like it's been a week since I watched it, but what did you think of Wakanda Forever? Non-spoiler.
Yeah.
What did you think of the?
I think visually it was awesome. I thought the fighting and the animation of the fighting, the way the fights looked, thought all that was great. The story is the weak point from a few different angles, I guess, that we'll talk about. But overall, I think along with the story, the other weakness is that it isn't about any characters that anyone really cares about. So, but again, the visuals, the fighting, for that alone, I would rate this at a 7 out of 10.
Okay. I Yeah, I agree. The storyline is the weak part. They could have done, and I get that it's an anthology, but they could have done a couple different things. I feel to make it a little better. And the thing is, like, you know, and I hate to be that guy, but you're dealing with characters that you don't know, you're never going to see again. You've never seen before, you're never going to see again, and um, it's it's tough to get you hooked into it and feel invested because, like, unless you really care about the characters, it's tough to say, oh, this is good, and you're only getting a half hour, per episode with each character. So, um, but yeah, I mean, there's some good action. There's some good points in the show, but then there's a lot of bad points. So I feel like I'm a little less than you, maybe a 6.5 out of 10.
I'm
Um,
surprised that you gave it that high because,
but
like, I don't know if you remember, you texted me and you're like, what was, I don't know, however many minutes into the first episode, and nah. I'm like, oh boy, okay. Oh, okay.
yeah. Um, so yeah. So there you go. That is what we thought about it. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. It's, if you got Disney Plus, you're not paying anything for it extra. Um, if you like the animated shows, go for it and have some fun. But if you have seen it or you don't care, we'll get into spoilers now. And here we go. So the first episode, like I said, starts off in 1200 BC. And there's a former Dora Milaje. I can't think of the character's name.
Doesn't matter. He's into lions. Yeah.
No,
He's
the woman. I'm thinking of
oh,
the girl.
I see. Yeah. I almost thought it was the one girl, his girlfriend from the movies.
Nani. Nani's the character's name.
Yeah.
So she's a former Dora Milaje. There's a pirates. We'll say pirates raid the city of Wakanda, and she helps fight them off, and then the head of the Dora Milaje says, well, there are other paths that you can follow to help Wakanda, and she sends her off to go after the pirate and get something that was stolen from Wakanda, something that's related to vibranium, of course, and they send her off, and the guy's the lion, right? That like he wears a lion headdress.
Yeah, because he's from Wakanda. He defected. He was like their greatest
Yes.
warrior, and he defected
Right,
with
right.
all of these Wakandan weapons and stuff, and he was using that and basically like taking over the world, or at least trying to.
Right, right. And basically had this like kind of like Davy Jones in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, where it's like you can join and be part of his army, his crew, or you can, suffer your fate and be killed. Um and he has this whole argument of uh they're prisoners in Wakanda, and when he left he felt free, and like her Nani wanting to stay is wrong. She's not free. She doesn't understand. She's like, no, you're the one that's a prisoner. Which, I mean, it's funny. Then it becomes the theme throughout the show, and that's like I think one of my problems with the show in general, right? Is it's the whole argument of, because they have this technology, this vibranium, and that helped them have all this advanced technology and stuff, which I'm sorry, they're way too advanced for as far back in the past as they go. Like the second episode has to do with the Trojan War, and the character that we're following has a long range communication device that he can contact with Wakanda while he's in Greece. And it's just like, nah. Like, I'm sorry.
Okay, I was wondering I was wondering how people would take that, because I'm like, whatever, if they say, it's Wakanda, and if vibranium's that advanced, and they've had, I guess it makes sense that they're this futuristic, in the end game time, or however you want to say it, phase 6.
I think my issue with, because so it's that whole, oh well, we keep secret, we stay to ourselves and we keep secret, right?
Yeah.
Which is which then ends up becoming right. It's the theme in the first movie, which I'll say that the last episode ties into the first Black Panther movie, right? We'll get to that in a second. But so that was like the theme of the movie, where Killmonger says to T'Challa, like, you have all this advanced technology and you just keep it to yourselves, and like, where there are people that look like you in the world who are suffering, and you could go help them with this technology, but Killmonger's idea was like, we could go take over the world and make the people that are making our people suffer, which obviously that goes against T'Challa's beliefs. But then at the end, it's like, well, no, you know what? We can reach out to people and help them. And they start a help center at the end of the first movie and whatever. And they introduce themselves to the world at that point. They're no longer secret. But that's part of my issue. Is you're going to go that far back in time and say they were this advanced for this long. There's going to be some Wakandan king along the path. I'm sorry. There's going to be someone at some point that's going to go, nah, let's go conquer those bitches. Like, we're so much more advanced than everyone else. We should be ruling the world. Eventually, one of the kings is going to believe that. You can't sit there and say they were good and malevolent for thousands of years and never bothered.
Yeah.
They just kept to themselves. Bullshit. That's so unbelievable at that point. That's why it's like, you went that far back in time with that far advanced technology. It's not believable at that point. Like, nah, sorry, I'm out. Like, that's what bothered me about it. Like in the third episode, he had a flying thing, and that you were still in ancient times, and he had a flying craft, and it was just like, oh, come on.
At least
you
we
had
got
the power
a cool
of
iron fist, though.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
But
like,
I see where you're coming from with that point, though, that is a problem of this story, is, to say, to just reestablish that isolationist, idea that we've evolved from since, the first Black Panther movie, And to just kind of reinforce that, that was kind of my complaint, is that I feel it was a step back to focusing on that part of Wakanda,
Yeah.
or at least displaying it in, from an extreme, again, to say that since the 1200s, Wakanda has been that advanced is a little bit much. And I understand where you're coming from. We're like, there's somebody along the way. What did they, World War II, World War One? I mean, something. So something would have triggered.
Here was my other issue with the show, right? So let me start with, like, I have been somebody that's not that I believe them, but I've been obsessed with conspiracy theories since I was young, right? Because the idea that there's this giant secret that people are hiding. But if you're a logical person and you understand how humanity works, one of the greatest conspiracy theory that everyone knows, the moon landing was fake, right? Problem with the moon landing is fake theory is that in order to pull that off, there had to have been dozens, if not hundreds of people involved with that conspiracy to make that believable and pull it off. From the ship launching at in Cape Canaveral, the shuttle launching into space, because there were witnesses there that saw it take off, to it landing on the moon, them being there. It's not just the astronauts. Like, if it was fake, there's a camera crew, there's a television station, there's all the people that worked at NASA. Like, you're talking, and somebody's gonna like spill the beans, right? Like, it's not possible for something to be that big and be secret. Like, a good secret requires two people to keep it. One person to actually keep it. And if you tell someone, like, as soon as you tell someone a secret, there's a chance it's going to get out, right? Like, we've all told secrets to someone that got out when we didn't want people to know. Like, that's human nature. So the idea that they could keep an entire city of Wakanda, or country of Wakanda, top secret for thousands of years isn't believable. The other side of that coin is, all four of these episodes, they're chasing down pieces of vibranium that have gotten out. How did they get out?
Yeah, that was another complaint I had, is they never explained
how they got, other than the first one where it was
right,
a defector from Wakanda. But after that, like, Helena Troy had a trinket that she was wearing that, and it was a piece of vibranium, right? And what was the other one? Iron Fist, Kung Lao,
it was
the statue of the dragon, and it was a tongue sticking out, which also the Iron Fist ended up at Wakanda and then left. And she didn't tell anyone about this. Like,
right.
It's just like, it's not believable that it was this advanced and stuff kept getting out, but it was still kept secret all this time, so it's just like, it was so tough watching this. Like, if they had gone back 100 years, here's the thing, and this is what I was saying that could have made it work. If the only thing that ever got out of Wakanda was that axe, and the whole show was them chasing that down. If the defector at the beginning of the show, the lion, that was his weapon, and he left with it, and then he was killed, but then it got passed on by treasure hunters throughout the years, right? That would have been a cool story. Like, you're following the same artifact. You explained how the artifact got out, and you're following it for hundreds or thousands of years through time. Okay. But the fact that all this different stuff kept coming out of the country, and they kept having to send the war dogs. That's what the name of the group was that in the show. They kept having to send these war dogs out into the world to recover the stuff and bring it back. It's like, well, then how did you keep it secret all this time? If vibranium kept getting leaked out, so it's like that ancient Chinese secret that everyone knows about. Yes, Thrawn, exactly. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there because to me it's like the last episode that deals with that vibranium axe really is the most important and the only one that was consequential.
Yeah,
And evidence of that is, and unless I missed him in the other three, but I don't think. But when we get to the fourth episode, Uatu is in the sky, the Watcher from the What If series.
yes,
Which was like, oh, okay. And there's no context explained behind it. He's just there and then gone. And then yeah, them. So we've got this War Dog and the third Prince of Wakanda, and they are trying to retrieve that vibranium axe that was featured in the Black Panther movie. And then this entity, which I first thought was perhaps some sort of old ghost version, but it turned out to be the final Black Panther queen who time traveled because that axe is actually to remain where it was, not taken back to Wakanda, so that Killmonger could steal it from the museum and that storyline happen instead of if the axe is given back to Wakanda and it's not there for Killmonger to steal, then these big insects are going to come destroy the earth. And
right, because
so
Wakanda,
they kind of they're doing an X-Men time travel. They're doing Days of the Future Past type time travel, by the way. So we've got more time travel brokenness here.
Right, because because in that timeline where Killmonger doesn't find the axe, or doesn't get the axe, he doesn't go to Wakanda to influence T'Challa to then get more involved with the world, which I don't know if
like you really think that would have stopped him? Oh, I can't find my vibranium axe. I no longer have claim to the Wakandan throne that I've been thinking of.
He still has the tattoo in his lip. He still is.
Yeah, I would say, well, I got my bumps. At least I got my bumps.
Right.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I get it, and I don't have an issue with making the axe a more important thing and doing that. But at the same time, it was just like, and I think one of the other issues I kind of had with the show, and it's one of the things that turned me off, was in the second episode, was it? Where it's the Trojan War, and Achilles is leading the Greek army against the Trojans, and Bakai is the Wakandan character, and he had become part of the Greek army and helps them fight. And they talk about like he's been with them for years fighting this war and helping them and whatnot. And of course, they finally get their opportunity. They get into the Trojan horse, the whole story. They get into the city, they sneak in at night, killing the soldiers. They're having a fight, but of course, Bakai sees Helena with the trinket around her neck, and he chases her down into the throne room to get it. But of course, Achilles sees him run away, and it's like, what are you doing? And then they get to the throne room, and he lets them escape. He takes the trinket and lets them escape. And that's when Achilles is like, you're in league with them. What's going on? And they have a big fight, and he ends up killing Achilles, cuts his Achilles tendons, and he bleeds out. And yet the whole time they're fighting, he's talking about how he's his brother and whatnot. And it was like, yeah, that really turned me off. It's like, dude, just tell him. You don't have to give everything away. You can just say, this is from my home of Wakanda, and I'm just getting it back to return it to home. Like, we'll win this war today, and I'm just taking this as a spoil of war. That's it. Like, he doesn't have to explain the technology. He doesn't have to explain that they're a hidden city, any of that. He just has to say, this is from my home, and this is, one of the things I came to get. That's it. But no, he decides to kill him. But he lets he lets the other ones get away, and it was just like, nah. Like, that really turned me off. Like, you don't fight with someone for years to protect them, to turn on them at the end just because of your mission for Wakanda. Not after years. Like, if it had been, I'll even give him a year into this, and he helped them get this far. But like they say, it was 7 years or something. It's like, no, you don't fight alongside someone for 7 years. You're not the same person at that point. So the idea that he just like gave all that up because of his mission is just like, no, sorry. It really turned me off. To me, that was bad writing. So, again, I did like the second episode. I mean, the third episode with Iron Fist and finding the tongue in the statue and Kung Lao, and him flying home. And I liked the like the main guy in that episode, because he was arrogant, and it was kind of fun, and the whole fight between the two of them, like, that was really well done, and then the weird time travel stuff in the final episode where he's got to put the axe back, and so that the Black Panther movie can happen. So yeah, I don't know. Again, that's my biggest criticism. If they had just made it the axe for the whole thing, had the defectors, like, that was his weapon and he left with it, and that's what she was sent to get, and she failed in the first episode getting it. So then they show it traveling through time to different places. Like, that would have worked better, because then it would have tied all of them together. This is just like, oh, look how great in advance we were, you backwards people, 1,000 years ago. So I don't know. That's kind of all I really have to say on it.
Yeah, I don't really have much to add. Like I said, the visuals were great. There was some decent ideas, but ultimately they failed. And that last episode kind of being the most important, but yet, like, the whole time travel, the axe is the key to the whole Marvel universe surviving.
Yes. The entire survival of the 616 universe was based on that axe. No.
It makes no sense.
Yeah, because here's
like,
the
what
other
did the
thing.
axe even get used for in Black Panther the movie? I can't even remember. Other for him to just go and show the museum curator that she doesn't know shit.
That was supposed to be part of Killmonger's payment or something. Not Killmonger. Who's the guy with that? Claw. It was supposed to be part of Claw's payment, I think.
But then he killed all those dudes.
But then he killed all the guys. Yeah, like, the axe was kind of pointless in the movie when you really think about it.
Like,
then that axe should have been in the Loki show. Yeah,
give some relevance.
I mean, if it was that important, and also, can we, like, also, if there was the non-intervention stuff, then there would have been no Wakanda in Infinity War. There would have been no involvement of Wakanda and the Wakandan army in those two movies, and they would have ended differently. So it wouldn't have just been these aliens in the future that destroyed the Earth, and then Wakanda was all that's left. It would have been I think maybe without Black Panther and the army, There's a possibility that Thanos won at the end and he remade the whole universe. So, yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with my score, 6.5 out of 10. You know, for a fun show, if you disregard everything we just said, you want to like watch a cartoon with some cool fight scenes and animation and kill a half hour here and there, go for it. But you can skip this one. It has no impact on anything else in the MCU either. So do you have any final thoughts on it or
no?
Nah. All right. Well, then you know what? Let's ask that question we do in every episode.
What do we learn on the show tonight?
What do you got for me, Don? And you got any recommendations?
I learned that I can watch a show and want to give it a 7 out of 10. And after I discuss it for about a half hour with Dave, it can be brought to what I learned. Okay. Recommendations. I recommend you do what I'm going to do because I haven't done it yet, amazingly enough, because life has just been one big whirlwind since I got back from vacation, which is to watch Twisted Metal on the Peacock app.
Oh yeah.
I have to watch the new season myself. So yeah.
All right. I learned that I can drag Don down to my level, and I'm kind of proud of that. Yeah. Recommendation. You know what? I do want to watch Twisted Metal. I'll say that as well. I'm also going to recommend that I believe it's out. Wednesday season 2 has finally hit. Is it Netflix?
Oh, really?
I
think it's Netflix.
Yeah. So
my kids and wife watch that.
Yeah, my girlfriend and I watched season 1 and we both really enjoyed it. So we will definitely be checking out season 2. I think they released the first 3 or 4 episodes. So go check it out. I don't know if it's good or not. I haven't watched it yet, but if it's as good as season 1, it should be good. So, yeah, that's it though. That is all I got. I don't know what we're going to be talking about on Sunday, but hopefully we're back to our normal schedule for a while. And on that note, boys and girls, as always, thanks for watching. Don't let your cape get caught in the door. See you next time.
If you haven't done so yet, subscribe. It really keeps this podcast alive. Smash the like button if you please. It gives us what we need. Maybe leave a comment or two. It's a really nice thing to do. And what are you waiting